And Viper's Ash, Viper's first champion back on Korean soil here. It's been so many long years. I told everyone the one thing I want from the offseason is I want Viper to come back to Korea. I got my wish.
Yeah, you did have to trade
I did.
some other players. But yeah, their ability to just run around team fight is going to be really, really fun. I say team fights. What I really mean is just run really fast and kind of chip away at them. Straight up 5v5s goes. For now, they're just trading almost exactly evenly. Viper definitely having a rough time with this harass. I mean, they do have a decent amount of harass themselves, but not quite the same amount that Avaris, who's hitting all of his stuff with this early item, can do.
Big smites.
To get the bonus effects as well, as here's Willer. Faker going to totally miss, as Willer is not going to miss. Does a bit of damage, but Chovy doesn't even have to flash. So because Faker kind of goes in there and whiffs early, there's not too much of a threat onto Chovy.
Yeah, barrel shows, so there's an opportunity here. Bottom side.
Ooh.
Oh, chains. If those land, Viper is, at the very least, would have had to flash there to avoid if they were in range. Yeah.
I don't know. Not about that life.
I don't discriminate against Dlashers, but I do suggest.
How about teleporters?
Okay, hold on. Cuz ulting.
Oh, here we go. Dudu is going to ult away, but he is still going to get rooted. But, you know, just Cassante is going to go a million miles down the lane and say no. And that's essentially what he does. Going to be totally safe here.
His dash lets him be unstoppable, so he has a pretty decent escape from a lot of ganks like this.
Yeah. He also already has Iceborne Gauntlet, by the way. This is now Iceborne Gauntlet.
Yep.
Very much like what Iceborne Gauntlet used to be. Ooh, maybe a little rusty here for the old man in the mid lane. As Dudu, he is going to dash once again, does not have his ultimate available, but now he's getting dove under the turret, but he is so tanky as that arrow's just going to sail wide. Morgan taking way too much damage and hit away, but Faker is not going to miss this time around, and he should have been able to sweep them up, but Toby at least going to trade one back somehow under the turret, and Maokai is just so unbelievably tanky that it took forever for them to kill him.
24-minute mark to have that fully stacked and to get the extra level. It's a pretty nice timing to have this one. Just like old League of Legends, you want to build that as soon as possible.
Oh.
Barrel! Where is he coming from?
Where did he come from? Oh, man. Okay, well, this guy's dead. Poor Deft. Viper doing a good job of baiting that with his heal. Didn't even have to flash. Yep, that's also a thing in the bottom lane here. As, okay, maybe going to try for a bit of a dive down on the bottom side. The arrow to be used as well as the flash. Barrel going to try to eat the root, but they both get hit, and now they're both just totally destroyed here. Viper also going to go down. Very nice play from the side of Team Deft to get down on the bottom lane and take the summoners and the kills.
Cuz, speaking of ults, looking for a trap on the Viper.
He's trying to get in there. Viper is going to be rooted up. This guy is totally gone. He does not have flash. He does not have his support. Not that that would have helped, I don't even think, because the Maokai would have just sailed under that stun. So Viper going to be caught out in the mid lane.
The heal expended, just hoping he can get past that Maokai ult. Not the first time we've seen the near escape when Cuz decides to engage, but he's not able to make it happen this time. Matudu really wants to try to take Morgan out. You're trying to bait him into this engage with Willer with his ult back up.
Yeah. Just one thing to mention, I don't think we mentioned this, but of course, with all the melee tops, it feels like Sejuani just goes up in value even that much more.
She's got the speed boost from the brush as well.
Oh no, Morgan totally baited out here. The riposte not going to work out well for him. He is just gone. The damage way too much. And Cuz was like kind of there, but by the time he was already caught out, Cuz and probably Morgan himself knew that he was not in a good spot. As the knockup also coming in here. Cuz gonna be slowed up. In they go. Kind of missed there, but in comes the flash from the side of Willer. And he's looking to chase down Cuz, the knockback and the ultimate used. As the whip going to hit, and the arrow comes in, but gets on the wall.
The plant buffer.
Gotta love the plants. Yeah. Not gonna let this third one go.
I mean, 2-item Faker here with Void Staff and Leandrius. This is definitely a good team fight for them if they can extend it out.
Yeah.
They have so many great engage options too, so if Def gets caught, that's basically the end of the story. Same with Chovy.
This poke isn't really hitting, and Viper's able to get in there and push out the mid wave. The arrow is going to sail totally right down the middle and not hit anything. As here comes the ult onto Cuz, but they're not committing. They want to turn onto Morgan. Here comes the Maokai ult, as they will just try to burst down the straight. They should be able to get it. No smite steal here for the side of Team Faker.
And you're kind of caught as Team Faker there after that.
And they say, okay, well, let's just do the Baron. I mean, they have a bunch of turrets. They have an Ashe as well. It's a lot of damage coming in, but Vision given over to the side of Team Deft as the knockup. Dude is doing such a good job of keeping Cuz out of the pit. That is going to be Baron on the side of TF, as now in goes Baker, but he's all alone and immediately gets stunned. Trying to go for the TikTok highlight, but unfortunately, he is going to be put in the bin instead.
In this case, he's going to get a lot of value in the experience and the base stats, but he's already got what he wants in terms of his skills. Is Morgan?
Okay, that's an insane amount of damage. Chovy just flashing on top of Viper, his former teammate. He's like, yo, what's good? Welcome back. In goes Baker. He's got a nice one. Gets reposted again, and the damage not quite there. They finally are able to kill Deft. As now they're trying to play the long game. They're trying to use that sustained damage, but Chovy is such a monster right now that I'm not sure that you really can. Some really nice poke on the side of Team Faker, but as you can see, they're not quite able to match the damage here from Chovy. Dudu's still trying to land that knock-up. Not going to be able to, though. Yeah, absolutely. And you see that we have seen a little bit of split pushing from Morgan, and certainly Fiora can still be an insane menace in the side lane, but Morgan just showing off some of what the Fiora can do in team fights as well. And with some of the new itemization, you know, you can kind of be anywhere. As Faker now, speaking of anywhere, he was about to get reposted for the third time by Morgan. He's getting dunked by Morgan in this game. As Peter, you know, he's in a lot of trouble here. He's not dying somehow.
He survives a long time here.
Actually immortal. Just karma things, I guess, as now he's going to get another speed up here. He is going away, trying to avoid the Naga, but eventually just dies anyway.
Yeah, they don't commit to try to trap Dudu there and kill him. We'll just die in the trade. But yeah, I was literally going to make the joke. Faker's like, I've had enough of these riposte stuns. I'm going to buy a stopwatch. And then he has to use the stopwatch because of it. Yeah. Moments later when he's found and caught on Gromp. Speaking of side pushing, side laning here, Chovy hits level 18 and takes out an inner turret.
It's 26 minutes into the game.
319 CS, something Rise hack. Chovy Rise hack, 320 CS. Yeah.
Jonah Strong is back in 2023, by the way, guys, so you'll get more zoom-ins like that. Yeah. And it's the Varus, who is so consistent in the poke damage, but Chovy is actually just a moving machine gun. Not to mention, you know, as I talked about when we first saw the Rise, the Rod of Ages, it gives you that speed up, that little bit of oomph behind everything else, you know, not to mention the extra level, not to mention the stats that you get from it. He's just flashing in. Look at Barrel's health bar. It's nearly gone, and he's so tanky. Did he go too far is the question, as Deft is going to snipe Barrel from downtown, but huge stunts coming in from the side of Team Faker, and they will put two of them in the dumpster. They turn this one around. Chovy this time overestimating his power. They also didn't even have Morgan, who's in the bottom lane, still being very annoying.
I think the idea here is, look, we've got a lot of ways to slow Team Faker down. We engage here, we get a pick, we can disengage, buy a ton of time. This should be inhib. Even with Dudu coming over, Morgan should be able to kite this one out. Has Ghost as well. But you're going to lose a Baron for this. Definitely an overextension. But it's not all bad for Team Deft. I mean, there's still 3,000 gold ahead. They will give over a lot of that Baron gold too. But they're still in firm control of this game. Could have been better. Going to push it down to about 130 of real active time. They can 4-1 this a little bit and keep the Fiora back. Force Morgan to defend. There's no, split push win condition at this moment in time to kill the Nexus.
Ult is out. It is an immense amount of damage onto Deft already. The shields are good.
So much peel for him, though. He doesn't actually have to worry. He doesn't have to expend his flash. His cleanse is coming back up. He does take a ton of damage.
But now Chovy this time, he's not going to flash in because, of course, he doesn't have flash. But he can just walk at them and be a little bit less aggressive in that case. As the arrow, everything onto Cuz. He eats so much of the damage. And that's actually really good for the side of Team Deft. As in goes Baker, he's going to hit two of them. Just a crazy amount of damage to Peter, but it's not a great follow-up.
Yeah, no follow-up on the Maokai ult here either.
Space, I suppose, gets his team positioning now. Chovy pretty low, in goes Cut, and he steals it away with the flash smite. And these smites, man.
His smite just came up. He used it on the Scuttle. Morgan's trying to win the game, meanwhile. So Dudu isn't here. That's one of their best tools here in this fight. He's not here.
Yeah, and they kind of forcing them into a fight as well. They don't want them to go back and deal with the Fiora, as now Fiora, here comes Morgan. He's level 18 too. He's looking for the big wraparound here. He is going to be spotted, but I'm not sure that that matters. He is a little bit ahead of his team, but he's still looking to get this angle onto Faker and Barrel specifically, as over the wall he goes.
He's got Grand Challenge too. I mean, he is going to rip somebody to shreds.
It's kind of difficult for him to go in 1v4, though. He really needs his team to back him up, and it looks like they're not quite able to get in position in time, not a position they wanted at least to take the fight. Yeah. So they need just yet, as now he's going to lead the charge into this one as he's trying to get into the pit. He does not have flash, and it is going to go the way of Team Faker. Dudu in the back line just doing so much work on the feeder, but he doesn't quite want to go in all alone, and the threats on the side of Team Deft are insane. They're looking to move in, Deft over the top. We're going to get that damage on the Viper, not quite able to land it. Cuz still looking to lead the charge, but he's taken huge chunks now from Faker, and he is the one that has to run away now. That tank not quite so tanky against that very Fedazir.
It's with another Baron buff, they're really starting to close the doors here on Team Deft split push win condition with no inhibitor down. Look at Morgan, he has no TP, he's just looking for a flank angle here to try to punish, try to catch Barrel, maybe Viper on the backside, but there's a lot of peel for him. Faker sitting on sums too.
Okay, here we go. This is one way to get straight in your opponent's face as they're just going to rise ult in, and they're going to find Barrel on the backside. Down he goes immediately. They get in range, and they're able to burst them insanely. Here's the knockback now onto Viper. He is in huge trouble, and this is exactly the team fight that Team Def were looking for. As down should go Dudu. Well, he is Cassante, so he's just going to get away, I suppose. Maybe.
Trying to push mid in the meanwhile.
The flash is going to come in. Baker going to miss that one. Stopwatch comes out anyway. Who's going to win this? Baker flashing the Q. He does an insane amount to Toby. Forces him away and continues the push.
But the base is open. I don't think Faker could defend this. He's not back.
They have to back.
He's so late on it.
Are there any minions there? Oh, it doesn't look like there are.
Nope.
That's actually going to help here. Is it enough, though, is the question. As Morgan gets in, tries to zone away Faker, and they should have enough here now. As Sejuani goes down, Willer not enough. And the Nexus will be taken here by Team Deft in game number 1.
We could just barely sneak this one out potentially. Yes, they were a little bit punished with some of those takes, but the idea was definitely good. Look at Faker also topping the damage charts more than a Lethality Varus, who had a pretty nice lead in the early game. Faker does 36.5k damage with that Leandri's, with the death.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Season for the SKE event interview. First up, joined by Dudu and Morgan. Congratulations, Morgan. How was that first game? I mean, like, I thought it was for like a show match, but I think it was actually pretty competitive, so it was really fun. Dudu, it's a bummer that you lost. How was game number 1? I mean, it was pretty winnable, but in the end, our decision was not good. Like, my decision was bad, so yeah, I'm a little bit bummed. Yeah, we were really curious to find out whether you guys are gonna have fun or like try hard, and it was like full try hard mode. Is it about the emotes prize for the winner? I mean, yeah, but also it's a match, you know. A lot of fans are here to watch these games, a lot of people tuned in. So I wanted to make it, you know, really good for the fans to enjoy. And we have 2 more games potentially to come. What kind of emote do you want if you can win this tournament? Nothing in my mind yet, but I want to make something that everyone can recognize that it's me, Dudu. What about you, Morgan? Like, that's the, like, living in my head rent-free right now. So I want to wait until we get the full result. And right now, it's all about Xante. Is it good?
충분히 좋은 챔피언이라고
It is good, you know. Right now, he's pretty good. And you were trying to go for a backdoor in game number 1. Were you pretty sure that you're going to end the game? I mean, I had the perfect build to take down turrets, so I thought it was pretty doable. What was going through your mind, Dudu, at that point? Fiora, she's so good at taking down towers, and it was faster than I expected, so I was a little bit flustered. Who do you think is the strongest player on the side of Team D, Team Deft?
일단 가장 무서웠던 거는 그 라이즈였고.
Rise for sure. He was like intimidating. Every time he was throwing his skills, it was so painful. So I want to say Chovy. I want to put it this way. Then who do you want to like bring from Team Faker? I played one game, and everyone have their own characteristics, so I want to keep my team. 2-0 will bring you the emote. Are you confident? I'm pretty confident. Well, we are never gonna make this a 2-0, so we're gonna bring this game to game number 3.
이번에 제가 한 방 먹었지만 우리 기태.
I mean, we lost one game, but I'm gonna bring it back for Morgan in game number 2. And we'll be back shortly after the break. Thank you.
And
Lulu is fantastic in this comp, even though it doesn't scream, you know, the strongest lane ever. We've seen it a lot. We've also seen the power of Wukong's double knockup with an additional knockup, Aatrox engaging with a knockup potential, living even longer, and the ability for Beryl to save Viper in team fights if that hard engage is there with the Vi, with the Renekton. On the other side of things, lots of ways to get on top of that series.
And here we are. No fan chants for Team Deft or Team Faker. I'm actually a little bit surprised. We have a lot of fans here in the audience.
Wait. This is a hard laning phase for an early Akali. Willer's going to try to punish.
He's going to get the slow with the Q. Chovy might be forced to flash over the wall. Willer could have decided to chase, but they had no real vision over there and might not have been able to get in range as he had already used his gap closer. Either way, a nice gank here.
How a lot more junglers are viable. He knows Cuz just walk away. So he's going to run into Willer.
He was revealed. They knew where he was.
That's really bizarre.
And he was just walking towards the enemy jungle. What?
Well, I think Willer does flash for this one, but he messes it up.
You don't even counter jungle. It's not a thing anymore. Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to get position on the Scuttle Crab just got owned.
Willer really wanted to hold the flash and decided to go for it at the end. Flashed a little bit wrong, but it doesn't matter. Still has, of course, that E to get on top of him. Yeah, a little bit of greed, a lot of punish.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he was revealed really was the big difference maker, right? Because if he wasn't, well, these guys might just be dead. Here's Willer with double buff. The flash polymorph trying to divide that, but Peter with the huge handshake is going to keep them both alive. That is massive, as now Deft is just going to chase them down. Has to be a little bit careful. He's got Cuz nearby who will just smite the cannon and help push this one away.
Yeah, that was a very tense and scary moment there, but great.
But here they are. Not all the time. Really nice setup from Cuz. He's going to land this one 100-0. This dude who doesn't even get to flash away. The poor guy. And yeah, that is the power of Vi, alongside of Renekton's insane gank assist.
Well, the great gravity field from Chovy as well, blocking Willer from coming over to make any sort of impact. By the time he's here, it's too late. Faker has ult, of course, and a decent health pool, but there's nothing they could do here anymore. A turret plate.
Oh, flash available for Chovy, but I'm not sure it's going to get him out of here. A lot of damage onto Willer, but it's nicely calculated. Faker even given the kill. That is nicely set up. Maybe assuming that Willer had gone back. So they're going to feel pretty good about that. Pretty even game from where we stand.
Yeah, Viper and Beryl did pick up that plate bottom side too. That was happening. Peter wants to be aggressive. I don't know about this.
This is just maybe a little bit too much. Bait is so huge. And that is a pretty huge Zeri, who is just going to do Zeri things and say, you know what, actually, yeah, I'm not feeling this fight. Let me just get out of here.
You know,
with a basic ability.
I think 6 months ago, that's probably a kill for Zeri, but not on patch 13.1. I think we can all just put a sigh of relief that it's not perma Zeri anymore.
If that weren't Zeri, Probably would have had to flash away from that one. But Chovy, he's got one job. That's to farm and to get rid of Aegis. So here we go, going in with that Dominus. Morgan really trying to bring this top lane into his favor. Dudu does get some nice movement, but he gets too close once again. And Morgan's like, oh man, you made a mistake. Let me just kill you right here.
We've mentioned it a few times, that former teammates, right? Morgan understanding Dudu's tendencies, I think, very well here. Blocks, or not blocks, but avoids both of those knockups extremely well. Flashless, and Dudu goes down.
Flash, and he does a good job here of avoiding Cuz. Peter here as well, of course, because Peter has kind of gone insane in this game. Not sure what's going on with him, but either way, he's here for the push with this Rift Herald. Trying to do a bit of extra damage to the mid turrets. Note that the Rift Herald doesn't do always 2 plates worth of damage anymore.
Yeah.
You're just not going to get 2 free turret plates all the time anymore. You gotta do a little bit more damage.
All right, first Q hits, second one misses, and he's like, all right, I'm going in. Dashes through the third Q, gets the stun, has the ult. Flash comes through, steps down, avoids the first one, goes inside the second to guarantee the kill. Well,
it's a bit of trading back and forth here.
Not as greedy for that ward as Faker was moments ago. And they really want to push this turret down, but it's not going to be off this wave. Or is it? Just barely.
Only Deft is here, so he actually can't stand up. And look at this, Cuz also just going to go into the river, assuming he's safe, just gets once again comboed down by Willer. As now Faker, there is Peter nearby, and no ultimate anymore for the level 11 Akali. And now Faker all of a sudden is 2-0.
Rift.
And take a look at this. In the 1v1 in the long lane, this Akali is going to have a lot of fun. That was a decent amount of storm damage here from the Chovy. The Q is going to miss from Faker, but can he run him down is the question the Shuriken will miss.
That one minion's such a bro right there.
Yeah. This charge will happen. Look at Faker's flank positioning here. He's able to get into that back line. Deft in a lot of trouble. He has to flash, and he's getting some good autos down. And he is going to be put into the possible takedown, but it is not quite enough. And the Zeri has so much room to pop off in this fight. As Morgan and Chovy, monsters on their own right, but nothing compared to Zeri.
Yeah, they get the mid turret, but it's going to be a trade of kills here, and one that almost didn't go into Team Deft's way. Like, they almost just lost one as Dudu's looking for angle.
The polymorph is huge. Is it enough to save Viper's life is the question. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Chovy is able to get in there. Doesn't even have to flash to secure that kill.
Well, this is a huge change here in this game. Chovy looking to come over and contest this Drake, but he's alone. He's crazy, but he wants it.
Yeah, not quite enough. It's a big smite.
That's huge, because if they lose all of that and then don't get the dragon.
Well, Deft is dead again.
Yeah.
So, looks like he was just top, and Faker was like, huh, you can't be here alone. That's weird. And then he killed him. So that's my analysis of the situation.
I don't know if there's much more to say, but we'll watch the replay and see if there's any more details.
Yeah, it looks like the same might happen here to Dudu. He does have a lot of help, though, coming down. Morgan, this is a long fight that you got yourself into, and it might come back to bite you. Teleport has to be used to try to save him, as the value coming out right now from this Renekton is insane. Same as the polymorph, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure that Chovy can really do much in terms of damage here on a barrel. He's desperately trying to get the kill, and he does, but just the one. As that will, in the end, be a win to the side of Team Faker.
Yeah, Willer up here going to be forced to ult. See if he wants to push this further. He can get the second knockup.
Cuz wasn't able to dash away. Now he has to flash, and in he comes, smacks him over the head.
Really unfortunate. This is a replay of Deft farming here solo against Faker. No defense. Notice Cuz and Peter are trying to block the rest of the rotations of the members over, but he ends up losing the 1v1 because they're a bit too far away. Morgan in this extended fight does some serious work, as you pointed out. Look at that massive heal. Still just not enough. Chovy flashes here looking for the kill on the Viper, but he gets away, and that's the big problem. If you kill Viper here, this fight could be a completely different story, especially with the bailout. Just not to be the case. Viper avoids the last part of that Victor ult and will survive. And then, yeah, Cuz opts into this double knockup and basically full duration of these swings.
Yeah. He ate about 100% of the damage that he could have taken. Morgan's still sitting on the throne, though, and maybe they didn't back away far enough. Dudu is going to have to get the wild growth on top of him. The Zeri damage trade back is not so great. It's Faker. He's got that backline access. They're trying to kill Peter, but the hostile takeover comes through. It's not a huge amount of utility, but they might be able to get on top of Faker. No, they can't quite take him down. And Morgan's the first one to be taken out here, as now Team Faker can just fight front to back. They've got this Zeri. Everybody kind of knows the way this one is going to go, as the rest of the members here at Team Deft will fall like dominoes.
Deft hands off the keyboard 3 times. His cash-in has been denied. No value with this Draven pick in terms of getting that big boost you'd like to get in early mid. Peter?
Oh no. This is just bullying now. As down he goes, Faker will collect a free kill. And even a teleport from Chovy as well. Just a little bit of bonus action, essentially. And there's not much luck here for Team Deft in
Look
terms
at Faker
of trying to get into this pit.
He's got the angle, he sweeps it.
Yeah.
And they can just pull the Drake out. He can threaten this backline if Morgan's on the other side.
Maybe a stun here, maybe a one-shot potential. Can they 100-0 Faker? No, they can't! He will live on the backside of it, and Deft immediately goes down. That's the end of this one. As the Infernal Soul also taken to add insult to injury. We will be going to a Game 3.
That's going to be the end of it, as you say. And Faker's on the edge there. If you collapse onto Faker, it means Zeri is going to be able to have free reign. But if Faker gets perfectly wild growth and every single resource is put into Faker, the rest of the team fight's a wash here for Team Deft. And as you say, we are going to Game 3. No questions asked here at the end of this fight as these double cannon Baron buff minions come through.
Not a lot of Fiora action in this one. Viper does flash and say, yeah, by the way, I'm Zeri. And they do have to wait for some minions. Okay, it looks like they will actually back for now, as we do have teleport available for Dudu.
Yeah, you should be able to just come straight back and save the cannon minion. Unfortunately not in range.
Like, they could push the envelope if they wanted to, but it looks like they don't quite want to. They're going to play it extremely safe.
It's a bit early in the season since it hasn't started yet for this game is over moment, but even though you just don't have a whole lot of room to work with here.
Any Victor wave clear believers? Okay, that's a nice handshake. I'm not sure it's going to matter, though, as the hostile takeover is going to sail wide. Doesn't need a lot of value there. As Faker just goes in, goes out, and now the Zeri ult is popped. They do get into that back line, as Viper did take about half his health and damage. So that is just about as far as he'll go, as everybody else is going to be wiped off the plate, as Viper will go down, funnily enough, but that will be the Nexus going down as well. A pretty one-sided one this time in favor of Team Faker. That is the one that we have not yet seen.
It's kind of deceptive how much damage this build can do on the Victor, you know, but a lot of this damage is put into Dudu, put into Faker, who nearly dies but escapes, put into Willer, right? And Chovy has so many threats and get on top of him. Deft has so many threats.
We are here joined by the junglers of Team Faker and Team Deft of the season kickoff event. Congratulations, Ruler. Now it's a tight series between the two teams. How are you able to beat Team Deft this time around? I think we had a really good comp, you know. Our comp really likes to fight a lot, and then our late game will be carried by Zeri as well, so I think we had a really decent draft. So I was pretty confident as soon as we had the draft completed. I was pretty confident. What about you, Cuz? Won first game, but you lost the last one. My early death was, well, a very big mistake there, so it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna do my best in the Game 3. Cuz I have a question. Why no Rek'Sai? Was that a bluffing? I mean, if this event was for fun stuff, I was gonna play Rek'Sai, and then we were so all in for the emotes, so I don't see the angle for the Rek'Sai. I'm waiting for the Rek'Sai for the third game still. And Willer. Compared to Cuz, you are relatively a very young player, so who are you relying on the side of your team? I mean, everyone is doing a fantastic job, so I'm relying on all of my teammates, but for sure, Burrow, his calls are so on point. And even in the previous interview that was released, you actually said you want to become friends with Bro, and it's really nice to find out he made great shot calls, but not a surprise. How was game number 2? I mean, it's a big honor for me to just play together with those players, and also for the kickoff event in front of such a large audience, and the game itself was really fun too. I'm having a lot of fun. Because now it's time for game number 3. You abandoned your favorite pick Rek'Sai, so any last words for the fans? Game 3. I'm gonna carry my team and win. And this will be the end of the interview from Will or Cuz, and we'll be back after the break. Thank you.
D+ Kia members in this tournament.
Good catch there.
Outside of Deft. So Showmaker was often the one to challenge Faker with the Kassadin pick. We've seen it go both ways actually in that matchup over the last 2 years. Gonna be Chovy this time around.
He's on how well he can get through the lane and how much of a late game threat he can be, as is always the case with Kassadin team comps. But especially with what he's got around him. As let's go into this one. Faker's back on TF. He has gone Cull.
Frog battle.
Yeah, they gotta like drop. They gotta drop their weapons and just. Just begins.
Moss Thumper wants to fight.
Beryl is. He's just doing Beryl things. I mean, this is what the Leona is meant to do. Oh.
Clips is pretty strong to commit the heal.
Peter's getting pretty low, and Viper going for the auto. He's going to get aggro here as maybe a trade back, but yes, Deft will be able to get that trade back. And at the end of the day, this is a good trade for Team Deft and for Deft himself.
Flashes for it. He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Double kill for the Kaisa.
Yeah, and that cleanse from Deft guarantees the Barrel's reliant on getting that stun to make sure Viper gets out. He flashed forward. Viper, and I think we can still give him credit for that, does end up getting punished here as they commit the heal forward. Flashes for this, gets the kill, and then this is the moment where he flashes for the stun, but it's instantly cleansed. And then he gets the full stack of passives here with his autos, flashes, gets the double.
Yeah. And you know what happens next. And now Viper doesn't have Flash. He is Ezreal, but let's see if he can even get close to the wall. The answer is going to be no. Perfect time from Cuz. I mean, that is just pristine. Right when it's pushing in, they can even freeze it here if they want. Gold. As now they're trying to move up to the top side here. We do have Meganar about to spawn, and no Flash right now for Dudu. He's in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to try to somehow weasel his way out of this one. He's going the opposite way. As, okay, he's not going to get hit by the dredge line, but it does not quite matter, as can't run away forever. Not against those champions. Yeah. Just farming it out. And Viego, another one of those annoying champions for Glenn, which is, you really can't get away from it. As, here we go, we do have the TF up on the top side. Now it's going to be Morgan in trouble. Still no Flash. He is able to get Willer back there, but it does not matter, as he will be made quick work of. Nice trade back in the top lane.
Willer using that Lee Sin Brain, you know, get the execute damage there.
Here for the side of Team Deft outside of the bottom lane. As in goes Deft, trying to make quick work of the bottom lane. Able to get the flash out of an Ezreal is always pretty nice. As now Beryl in a little bit of trouble. There's not much help, but TP is coming in from the side of Team Faker as the X flash over the wall. And now they re-engage, and now everybody from the side of Team Faker's coming in. As Toby's looking for the shutdown in that back line, but he just doesn't have any damage. He will eventually pick it up, and the Kaisa Deft just pick up another one.
And then in the mid lane, right, like, or rather with the Herald in mid, trying to take out the turret. Okay, Morgan.
He does have flash. He's not even going to bother using it. He knows he's dead. No hope for him.
To teleport to. Dudu can teleport flank.
Dudu?
Not if he dies.
Okay, I mean, he is a Gwen, but he is... I don't even know what to say. Like, he is miles down the lane. That is way too far.
This might just be impossible to recover from at this stage.
Yeah, that was definitely a pretty large mistake. And, you know,
trap these side laners. I mean, it just becomes so easy. Speaking of trapping.
Yeah, this is what this composition can do. They can collapse so quickly. Deft pretty far forward. This would be a shutdown. He goes into the cleanse, but it's not quite enough. That was incredibly deep for the side of Team Deft. And yes, they got the kill, but that is a massive sack of gold now into the hands of Faker with the shutdown.
This will save the turret here for Team Faker. Luckily for Deft's squad, the Drake is 3 minutes away still, so there's a lot of time to set up and prepare for that. And Chovy can just go straight back into side lane.
Little opportunity here. This miss is going to help him out, actually, as nice amount of Viper damage will come through, but is it enough is the question. The answer is no. Chovy is already getting in there and popping off. He just flashes back. He knows he's not going to need that. He's about to hit level 16, as that's a couple of kills now.
In about 5 seconds here, we're going to hit that rod timing. There it is.
It is.
Boom, 16. The clock
30.
has reached doomsday.
Here comes Chovy. He's just fearless. He's got to be a little bit careful. There's a lot of lockdown, but again, he has that stopwatch, and he's already done a nice amount of poke damage already. As here comes
Peter on the flank.
Nice buffer on that dredge line. Got to be a little bit careful. He's going to take the gate here to come back to the team. Probably a good idea. No need to take risks. You are in such a comfortable spot here as Team Deft.
Deft just going to clear this wave. And he can sort of put some pressure on this turret, going to take it out.
So he's in the pit, and then he's out of the pit.
And so much mana, it doesn't matter that his ult costs a lot of it.
Yeah. It's even better. Trying to do that extra damage as in goes Barrel. They're trying to get the Wombo combo. Nice ultimate from Viper, but it's kind of... It just doesn't match the damage right now on the side here at Team Deft. Now, a decent amount of poke damage has gone down onto these members, but already it is 5v4 with Barrel going down.
Yeah, this is the scary part. Chovy.
Stun, in goes Deft as he is going to go invisible. They're trying to lock him down. The kick over the wall right into Viper. Not going to help him out at all as trying to teleport away, I believe, was Faker. And he is not going to go out, get out of here either. That is going to be the X-Tech Soul. And that might just be game. I mean, they are so far ahead. Quite a lot of boom boom. And yeah, X-Tech Soul, Team Deft. Okay, trying to get on top of Deft himself.
I don't know if you want to be on top of Deft right now.
Yeah, Chovy just getting on in there as he does have Zhonya's now, and that is just going to open up this fight. Everybody's just going to be thrown into the bin, as that should be it. In comes Dudu. He's like, oh God, what happened here? The room's on fire. I've got pizza, but that's not going to feel too good. That is a clean sweep, and Team Deft will take this best of 3.
This time they got minions. There's no Victor walking out of the base this time around. Deft gonna stopwatch here as the minions approach. They can clear these turrets. Death time is super long, and looks like Deft has done it again. Defeated Faker one more time in another series here before the spring season starts. And Deft and crew are gonna get a set of emotes. So this is
right after this.
It's pretty crazy, the spread of player age that we have in this show match, right? You have players like Faker, right? Viper, Deft, right? And then you have younger players.
Thank you very much, guys. We are here joined by Team Faker over here. Let's start off with Dudu. That was the last game of the season kickoff event. How was it?
좋은 선수들과 한번 해본다는 게
I got to play with such a great players, so you know,
이런 선수들이랑
this
같이
never
해서
happens that often, so I enjoyed a lot.
다음에도 이런 자리 있으면
I wish I can,
재밌게 또 해볼 것
participate
같습니다.
one more time in the future.
과정에서 페이커 선수가 말씀하시길 제우스 선수가
And during the
두두 선수를
draft,
뽑아야 한다고 강력
Faker
추천을
mentioned
하셨다고
Zeus
하셨어요.
told him
혹시
to
그거 들으셨나요?
pick Dudu.
맞습니다.
그거
I saw
보셨을
that
때 기분이
too.
어떠셨어요?
When I found
제우스
out,
선수가
you know,
LCK에서 정말
maybe
잘하는
I
탑라이너라고
mean, Zeus is
생각하는데
the
그런
best,
선수가
one of the best top laners in the
얘기해줬던 게
LCK,
정말
and
좋았던 것
I was
같고,
so happy that he actually said
이렇게
so.
제우스 선수 덕분에
And thanks
이런
to
자리 온 것
Zeus,
같아서
I was able to play in this, you know, great
알겠습니다.
event. So I feel so honored. Little V from Zeus
네, 제우스
in the
선수가
crowd.
저기서 흐뭇한 미소를 짓고 계시네요. 알겠습니다. 윌라 선수께 여쭤보겠습니다.
And let's move
오늘
over
승리는
to
좀 놓치게
Willer.
됐지만
You
오늘
know, it's a
그래도
bummer that
가장
you guys
잘해준
could
선수
not get
누구라고
the win, but who do you think performed the best among the Team Faker members?
저인 것 같습니다.
Me, obviously.
그렇다면 이
Well, if
질문도 안
that's
드릴 수 없을 것
so,
같은데 그럼
I have another
반대로
follow-up
범인은
question.
누굴까요?
who played
네, 이게 참
the
아쉬운
worst.
게 동정이 저번에 구엔 뽑았을 땐 캐리한 걸 제
I
눈으로 봤었는데
mean,
이번엔
last
캐리
time when I saw
못하더라고요.
Gwen, you know,
동정이 범인인 것 같습니다.
he was so good at it, but this game, his
제가
Gwen sucked. It's all of me.
알겠습니다.
I'm sorry.
페이커 선수께 질문 드릴게요. 이
And
따봉
Faker.
감정표현 팬들이 진짜 많이
Everyone
기다리셨거든요. 좀
really
아쉬움을
wanted to
팬들에게
see your
전달해
thumbs up
준다면 어떤 말
emotes.
있을까요?
Any words over to the
이미
fans?
노래도 많은 따봉이 있기 때문에
We have so many thumbs up
제
emotes
따봉은
in League of Legends
필요하지
already,
않을
so I don't think they need
생각하고요. 어차피
another
뭐
thumbs up emote.
이벤트
And
전이기도
this was,
하니까
you know, a show
좀
match.
재밌게 게임하고
I had a lot of fun.
것만으로도
I'm
만족합니다.
so happy.
지난번에 라인 CK를 제안해 주셨잖아요.
Last time I heard you actually wanted to do a line, you know, all-star matchup based on the
그때는
positions and
아마
roles.
이기지 않을까 생각합니다. 제가 서포터를 가면 질
Next
수가 없기
time,
때문에
I'm gonna be a support in the mid
당연히
tip
이길 거라고
and
생각합니다.
100% win rate secured.
제 생각에는 좀
by
열리지
me,
않을까 싶은
confirmed.
예상이 드는데 내년도 기대해 보도록
Looking
하겠고요.
forward to the
이어서
lane
바이퍼 선수께
and position all-star
여쭤보겠습니다.
matchup next
제가
year,
그 개인 방송 하시는
hopefully.
걸 봤는데
And
드래프트
Vista, I
과정에서 안
watched
뽑힐 줄
some of
알았다가
your
뽑히니까
streams
굉장히
and you were so
당황하시더라고요.
surprised
그때
to get
기분이
picked.
어떠셨는지 궁금합니다.
Oh, yeah.
우선 저희
Well,
팀에 좀 잘하는 선수도 많고 또
our
작년에
team,
뭐 같이 했었던 제카
you know,
선수나 그럴
has a
줄
lot
알았어요.
of
저는 안 뽑힐
talented
줄
players. You
알았는데
know, Zika,
좀
King and Even
좋았고
from
생각
Worlds
못했지만
last year. So I was
오랜만에
not
왔는데
expecting this,
이런
but
무대를
you know,
통해서 또 팬분들을 찾아뵙게
I'm so
돼서
happy
정말
to, you know,
좋은
say
것
hi back to
베릴
the LCK
선수와
fans.
친해지고 싶다고 얘기를 하셨었잖아요.
And you also said you
네.
want to be friends with
성공하신 건가요?
Burrow. Did you
좀
become
발전이 있는
friends
것
with him?
같아요.
오.
I mean, a
그럼
little
베릴 선수
progress,
이야기도
maybe.
들어봐야 될 것 같은데 베릴 선수
Bro,
어떠세요?
what
좀
about you?
친해지셨나요, 바이퍼 선수랑?
Are you sure?
일단 도현이가 자기는 이제
I mean,
편한 거 하기 싫다라고 해서 말을 놓자고 해가지고
Viper was like, let's be
거기서도
friends, you know?
그냥 원래
I
제가
was like,
선생님이라고 불렀거든요.
Okay, I used to call him like Sir,
도현이 별명이
Sir
이제
Viper, but
선생님이니까.
because that's his
근데
nickname
그날 또
online,
이제
you know?
도현이로 부르기로 했습니다.
And then like, I'm not using that Sir nickname anymore. I'm just gonna call him
베릴
Viper.
선수는 본인이 생각했을 때 이렇게 팀 내에서 많은 선수들이 가장 친해지고
And
싶은
Beryl,
선수로 베릴 선수를 꼽을 만큼
Everyone,
인기가 많은
probably
비결이
like
뭐라고
everone
생각하시나요?
chose you
일단
as
제가
the person they want to be
성격이랑 좀
friends
다른
with.
게
Why is that?
그 일할 때는 좀
I
사람이
mean,
빡대져가지고
when I'm like working, I'm
제
actually
본
pretty
모습을
strict. But when they
생각이
just
바뀔
look
수도
at me in real life, like they might
그러면
not
그것도
feel the same
궁금한데
way.
반대로
It's
베릴
kind of
선수가
different.
오늘 여기에 출전한 9명의 선수 중에 가장 친해지고 싶은 선수는 누군가요?
What about your
저는
idea? Who do you want to be friends with among the Team Faker
2년
members?
전에도 했었거든요 이런 거를.
I did
근데
something like
저는
this 2
옆에
years
이제
ago,
도현이를
and
지목했는데 뭔가
That
도현이가
time I
좀
actually chose
환생한
Viper,
사람 것처럼
and then he
그런
changed a
느낌이
lot
있더라고요. 그래서
in the past 2 years.
그런
He
느낌에서
become a
이제
new
친해지고
person.
싶은
So
많습니다.
yeah, I wanted to be friends with
바이퍼
him.
선수 진짜 성공하신 것 같은데요. 베릴 선수랑
Dreams
친해지는
come
거.
true for Viper and Burrow.
알겠습니다. 축하드리고요. 그럼 마지막으로
Congratulations.
베릴 선수가 마무리하는
And
의미로
lastly,
팬분들께 한마디 부탁드리겠습니다.
Any last message for
오늘
all the fans?
개막전 전에 이벤트 전에 많이 와주셔서
Thank you
감사드리고
for
이제
showing up to
SK
the
곧
season
개막하는데
kickoff
많이 이제 여기 있는
And I hope you guys
열진 모두
also
오셔서
stay tuned for the
많은 응원
LCK
부탁드립니다.
2023. Thank you.
감사합니다. 데프트 선수들과 이야기
We are
나눠보겠습니다.
now here
승리
joined
축하드립니다.
by the winner, Team Deft players. Congratulations.
네, 모건 선수 아까 인터뷰 나눌 때 그렇게
Morgan,
자신감 있는 모습을
You said you were really
보여주시더니
confident to
결국
win
승리를
this
해내셨습니다.
match,
소감이
and
어떠신가요?
you made it. How do you feel?
2세트 진 다음에 3세트
After losing game 2,
챔피언이 거의 많이 없어서
You know, we didn't really have many options in terms of the champion pool, so we had a lot of discussion about it,
팀
and
페이커
it turned out
선수들과
great.
같은 질문 한번 드려보겠습니다.
Same question
오늘
I
가장
asked to the
잘한
Team
선수는
Faker
누구일 것 같나요?
players.
누구인
Who
것
do you
같나요?
think played the best
지훈이가
among the
오랜만에
Team Deft
만나도
members?
잘하더라고요.
Chovy, you know,
그러면은
long time no see, bro,
반대로
and you're
조금
still popping off.
아쉽다, 조금 아쉽더라 한 선수 있을까요?
What about the player that
조금
didn't really
아쉽더라.
perform well today?
3세트에 제어 좀 많이 죽어서 그 부분
Maybe
좀
me
아쉬웠던
because I died a lot in
알겠습니다.
game 3.
네, 그럼 커즈 선수 오늘 그
And Cuz,
3세트까지 이어가시면서 뱀픽의 컨셉이 굉장히 궁금한데요.
What was
어떤
the
컨셉으로
theme
임하셨나요?
of the draft in game 3?
뱀픽 다 같이 일단 대기실에서 정말 머리 많이
I mean,
굴렸는데
we
돌진
tried
조합으로
so
준비했습니다.
hard to
아,
come
돌진
up with the
조합
best comp
성공적으로
during the break
마무리하신 것
time, and we
같은데 그
came
사전에
up with a
알파카
dive
키우기도
comp.
그렇고 데프트 선수 시팅을 많이 하겠다라고 하셨잖아요.
And like in the previous
성공적으로 잘
interview,
하신
you
것 같나요?
mentioned you're gonna
네,
camp
제
bot for
생각대로
depth. Did it work
역시
out well?
혁경 키우니까
Obviously, you know,
잘해주더라고요.
I gave him
그럼
all the
약간
gold,
승리의
all the resources,
그
and he
일등
popped
공신은
off.
나다 어떻게 보면.
So you are the MVP of
다
the
같이
second
잘한
team.
것
Depth
같은데요.
teamwork makes the dream
알겠습니다.
work.
초비
I want to say
선수께
so.
여쭤보겠습니다. 지금 초비 선수와 여기 인연을
And
가진 분들이
Chovy,
많은데요.
you have so
특별전
many
이렇게
former
해보니까 지금
teammates
기분이
over
어떠신가요?
here. How was this
이렇게
season kickoff
특별전
event?
하는 것 자체가 재미있는데 이제
I had a lot
오랜만에
of fun.
만난 이제
Especially
인연도 있고 새로 만난
I was able to
분들도
see a lot
계시는데
of my
잘하고
former
재밌어서
teammates, so
오늘
I had a lot of fun.
재밌고 좋은
You know,
이벤트도 한것
great
같습니다.
memories.
바이퍼
For sure.
선수와 이전에 이제 한솥밥을 먹은 시절이
And you were
있었는데
also
이렇게
a
오늘
teammate
적으로
with
만났습니다.
Viper, and you guys were
어떻던가요?
enemies
그때보다 조금
today.
더 강해진 것 같나요? 아니면
Has he
뭐
become a lot
할만하다?
stronger than before? You know, 3-4 years ago.
사실 잘 모르겠어요. 제가
I'm not sure,
제가
to be honest,
게임하면서
because
바이퍼 선수에게
I didn't really get to
뭔가
encounter into
때릴
Viper a
타이밍도
lot.
맞을 타이밍도 없었어서
I didn't get hit by him. I also was
그
not able
힘을
to
못
reach him,
겪어봐가지고
so
정규 리그 때 한번 맛을 봐야겠네요.
we'll have to wait
옆에
until
계신
the
데프트
LCK
선수와도 오랜만에
begins.
합을 맞추는데 그건 어땠나요?
What about playing with Deft again?
좀 원래도 잘한다 생각했는데
I mean, he's a great player. I
뭔가 좀
always
깔끔하고
thought so.
잘
And then
해줘서
his performance has
다시
become
만나니까
even
느낌이
cleaner.
새롭네요.
So yeah,
데프트
it was
선수로
great
넘어가
playing
보도록
against him,
하겠습니다.
playing
사전에
with him,
광희한테 미안해서라도 오늘 꼭 이기고 싶다라고 인터뷰를
and Deft, you
하셨는데
said for
이기셨습니다.
Rascal, I
라스칼
really
선수에게
want to
영상
win
편지 한번
today.
보내주시죠.
Any words over to Rascal?
사람은 이렇지만 네.
I lost him, you know, I lost our friendship, but still I was able to win this match.
네.
Rascal,
저 이제 사라지기 전에 또 이런 기회 있어서
I hope we get another chance like this.
광이랑 같이
And
경기할
I really
기회도
wish we
있으면
can play
좋겠네요.
together. I mean it.
알겠습니다. 드래프트 과정에서 뭐 라스칼 선수를 포함해서 여러 가지 우여곡절이 있었지만 이렇게 막상 이렇게 한 팀이 돼서 경기를 해보니까 좀 만족스러우신가요?
How was this event in overall?
저는
Was
이제
it fun?
윤수랑은 처음이었는데
So this was my
빼고
first time
이제
playing with Peter,
나머지
but
팀원들이랑
other than them, you know,
제가 왜
other than
같이
him,
했을
we
때
were
좀
able to have a
즐거웠던
lot of
기억들이
synergy
많았는지
in the past,
기억나게
you know,
해줘서 되게
great
고마운 것
memories.
같아요.
So
너무 다들
this
잘하더라고요.
series kind of brought back all the
옆에
good
계신
memories,
피터
so I loved it.
선수한테는 너무 귀엽다고 하셨잖아요.
And you said
사전
Peter is so
인터뷰에서.
cute.
실제로 바텀
Then
듀오로서
how
합을
was Peter
맞춰보니까
in real life and playing together on the bottom lane?
어떠시던가요?
Was that even
일단
cuter?
생각했던 대로 너무
Like just like I
잘해줘서
imagined, he
되게 좋았던 것
played
같고
so
또,
well,
네,
and
게임도 잘하고 네,
he's good at
실제로도
games.
귀여운 것 같습니다.
He's really cute in real
아,
life.
서로 눈에서
Awesome.
꿀이 뚝뚝 떨어지는 것 같은데 피터 선수는 데프트 선수가
then Peter.
귀엽다고 하신 얘기 들었을 때 기분이 어떠셨어요?
What did you feel when Duff said Peter is
감사했습니다.
cute? I was
오늘 함께한
grateful.
경기는 만족스러우신가요?
How was the game together with
LCK
Duff?
레전드 선수분들이랑
I mean, like
다
I
같이
was
이렇게
playing with so many
기회가
legendary
있어가지고 너무
players on the
만족스럽고
LCK, so I was
다음에도
so
또 하고
happy.
싶습니다.
알겠습니다.
I
그럼
hope to do
마지막으로
this again.
팬분들께 인사 한 말씀 부탁드릴게요.
Last words for the fans.
오늘도 많이 이렇게 응원하러 와주셔서 감사하고
Thank you for showing up
이제
today,
앞으로
you know, to
시즌
support
개막할
us.
텐데
And
모든
LCK is
팀들 다
just around the
같이
corner,
즐기면서
so I hope all
재미있게
10 teams
했으면
can
좋겠습니다.
have a lot of
네,
fun.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
팀 데프트 선수들과 이야기 나눠봤습니다.